So here's the basic teaching on this, about self-doubt. That if your identity is limited to exclusively the egoic self, the personality or the body or the defenses or your intelligence, any particular quality that you present to the world, the striving self, the achieving self, if your identity is hitched to that, you will live with self-doubt. The self you're identified with is a response to vulnerability and a feeling of separation. So it's very hard to really trust basic goodness. To shift, to dissolve that doubt, to rest in trust, we need to discover a larger, more authentic sense of who we are. Something beyond the egoic self. Now here's the conundrum, is that even though the false self, when it's buffing itself up and trying to get medals, even though it doesn't really work, it works a little. It works enough so that we stay hooked on our strategies to get approval and attention and feel better about ourselves. So we're hooked on them, but it never really works. So we're kind of always trying to do the things that help us feel better about ourselves, and that could be, more, achieve more. It's the not enough syndrome. If you have that, it's part of that. It's like, it doesn't matter how much you accomplish, you have to yet do more in order to keep fuel this endless hunger for affirmation. So one of the interesting things that comes out of this, that many are familiar with, is impostor syndrome. Feeling like a pretender, like a fraud. There was a 1984 study of psychologists, randomly picked psychologists, and 70% of them felt like they were in some way imposters. And even though it's statistically there's more women than men that feel it, you see it everywhere. I have been with so many people that outwardly have every credential you could imagine for feeling well established in the world, whether it's good works or the appearance or fame or fortune, just have it in spades, and underneath that the sense that around the corner people are going to find out who they really are and not like them. Wendell Berry. You will be walking some night. It will be clear to you suddenly that you are about to escape, that you are guilty. You misread the complex instructions. You're not a member. You lost your card or never had one. So you understand that when we are living from trying to have the ego feel better about itself, that there's some hole in there, it kind of covers over the very beingness and goodness that really is the source of our well-being. And you might sense for yourself, do any of the external successes that perhaps you've been seeking after and perhaps have found, any of them, whether it's money or whether it's appearance or whether it's achievements, do any of them really help in trusting yourself more? Does it ever really work? Or do you have that it's never enough part of you? That's the part that's actually the invitation into something better.